Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Erika Kirk, the wife of Charlie Kirk, slain provocateur, had an event in San Antonio where she spoke on behalf of her crumbling, non-spiritual Christian organization, Turning Point USA. Yeah, fam, and she was heckled. She was heckled brutally. A woman screamed out, "Erika Kirk protects pedophiles," right? So what did Erika do? First of all, fam, she had this little expression on her face, this crumbling expression on her face. It looked like she was about to break down and cry. But then she said, "It's important to remember that happiness comes and goes, and I pray that you find it." She said that to the heckler. "I pray that you find it." You know, what I do find odd is how they conveniently evoke God and the Bible and prayer into their diabolical beliefs. Yeah, they love to scream God and the Bible. And this is, like, you be wondering, like, how is it that they're Christians but they treat people this way? And I'm going back to their ancestors, I'm going back to the slave owners and all of that. You wonder how could people do something like that, but at the same time say that they believe in God and that they're Christians. And the more you live, the more you realize that they believe something else. They believe in a different type of God. They believe in Christianity by the way that they interpret it, Yeah. So what's interesting is in that Bible, it'll say, "Thou shalt not kill." But at the same time, they were doing nothing but killing, right? They were doing a whole lot of killing, while at the same time, making black people be obedient. Hey, he can't do that, can't kill, you ain't gonna go to heaven. You kill, you ain't gonna go to heaven. You know that, right? No matter if we kill you now, we can kill you and we still gonna go to heaven. Because, we believe in God too. And we believe in forgiveness. And so, just like you forgive, you like to forgive, we like, you don't forgive us. Never understood that. I never understood how they got by with that. Like, this whole thing called practice what you preach. I never understood how they were able to get by with that. How could you brainwash people? Imagine this, fam. Imagine your parents telling you to behave a certain way. Imagine your parent telling you, look, boy, you don't be smoking no weed now. I don't need you smoking no weed. You hear what I say? I'm whoop your ass. Keep on. And the whole time, that's how they do. They just blowing it. How much credibility would they have? And bigger than that, how much influence they would have on you to quit smoking or to not smoke weed? Imagine your family, imagine your parents, driving crazy. Every time they get in the car, they driving crazy, experiencing road rage, and you're in the car and you're watching them. They're on the phone texting and they're telling you, don't text when you drive. Stop fiddling around with that radio when you're driving. But that's all they do, right? Imagine that. That's kind of how it went, fam. That's kind of how it went. So Erika Kirk, she's a creepy one to me. She's really creepy. I don't believe her. I don't believe that she misses Charlie. I think she had something to do with Charlie's death. Really. I think she had something to do with it. She accepted it way too fast. She got too close to JD Vance. I mean, she was holding JD Vance by the back of his neck like this, like caressing his neck when he hugged her. That does not sound like a grieving widow to me. Then she hugged Trump and didn't even hold her breath. That was crazy. That was wild. She hugged Trump. and didn't hold her breath. You know, she inhaled. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, fam, yeah, she was heckled. She was absolutely heckled. And it was something else that happened. And I won't show the video because, you know, because they're going to try to give me a strike if I show y'all the video. So you have to look up the video yourself if you want to watch it. But hey, take my word for it, fam. I'm telling you exactly what went down. It was somebody else in the audience when she said, when the woman yelled out, Erika Kirk protects pedophiles. It's a woman that yelled out, so, family, we are dealing with uncivilized mutts. Now, this is not a shock that she believes that way. That's not a shock. A little surprising that she said it out loud, but she only said this quiet part out loud. We know that she believes, we know that they support that behavior. We know she believes in it because she's a Trump supporter, right? We know that. We know she's rocking with it because she's a Trump supporter. The other people in the audience, they support her. They're Trump supporters. So we know they don't really have a problem with pedophilia. We know that for a fact because I couldn't have been the judge, fam. I couldn't have been a judge in this situation with all of this stuff going on. Epstein files, yeah, release the files. Yeah, release them. Or you, straight to jail. Man, I would have handled Trump so roughly. Those cops that was in the courtroom when Trump was going through his trial, when he got hit with those 34 felonies, they were so nice and accommodating to him. Couldn't have been me. If I would have had any type of stewardship over those cops, I would have been like, yeah, man, when you escort him out of the building, make sure you give him a little, you know, a little nudge. Yeah. Yeah. I would have put him in the cell. I would have had him reprimanded. I would have reprimanded him and put him in one of those holding tanks. I would have put him in there. And then when I would have let two big old black dudes walk in there and have their way. Yeah. What do you think he would have done? Come on, guys. Come on. I'll give you $1 million. I'll give you whatever you do, please don't hit me. Because he ain't that tough. He ain't that tough. You just act tough. It's easy to be tough, fam, when you got the United States Army behind you. You know, you got all the military, you got guards all around you. You got Secret Service. And, you know, it's like some of these dudes out here, like especially like these rappers out here who have security and they talk tough. They're always talking tough. And they stand by that security and they use the security as a buffer to go between themselves and the people who they target, the people who they create drama with. They ain't too much worried about it because they got their buffers, just like these clowns that be talking slick on social media, on YouTube. They only do that because they're banking on the buffer between, they're banking on the internet being the buffer between them and the person they're antagonizing with, making contact with them. They're banking on that. They're banking on that part. They're banking on the idea that they're never going to have to run into you in real life. Because the cold part about it is, see, any fan of theirs that believe that they're really tough are already weak. They're already down, right? They're down and out. But they know deep down in their hearts that they're trash. They know deep down in their heart that they're cowards and that they would never try something like that in person. But they're banking on the internet being the buffer to keep them safe. Trump probably had a fight in his life unless he's fighting on women. Well, he did. According to the girls in the Epstein files, the girl said, you know, the girl said he did this and did that to her when she was, I think she said 13 or something. Yeah, that he, you know, roughed her up. Yeah, so I wouldn't put nothing past any of them, fam. But I don't know why any of us are surprised. I don't know why any of us are surprised by those women, those little girls not getting justice, because America is a RAPE culture. It has always been that way. It's always been that way. They just from time to time go after certain people and act like they really care about women and little girls and even people, period. They just act like they do from time to time. It's kind of like how they do when they make a drug bust every now and then. They make a big old drug bust. But the rest of the year, the drugs are wreaking havoc over the community. People bringing boatloads of drugs, plane loads of drugs into the country, and they're doing nothing about it. And then they'll hit an 18-wheeler every now and then, or a shipment. And they say, look what we're doing with our brave men and women, and da 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 da. It's all game. It's a hoax, fam. They care nothing about the health, the welfare of the people in this country. None of us, they care nothing about none of that. It's all one big dog and pony show. But what say you? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.